for Leviatan. Could this be another Zeta tragedy where they run into a top team right at the beginning of a tournament? ASCENT would be a great place to start things out with a blow against Leviatan. It was a great map for the LATAM team in previous tournaments. They're already starting quick.
Yep, no time wasted. Tacklia all the way up into heaven, and he's just caught them unaware. Sugar Zero. Okay, that was a bit of miscoordination, miscommunication.
I love it though. That pistol round strat is gorgeous. First saw DRX doing it a couple of tournaments ago, but it coordinates perfectly with Takalia's smoke and King being there to put down the nade. You pinch the players in B main, in A main. It's just a gorgeous pistol round idea.
We see Crow and Laz on this retake. They do have the dart available to them, but right now I think the knife went off there, so unable to use too many abilities, just waiting, seeing if they're going to be gifted a kill or two. But this Leviatan squad, they have a lot of discipline on them. Not going to be willing to give away too many freebies, too many easy kills. Laz just claiming a 1, but it is him against the world, and that 1v4, and as soon as the door breaks, he's met with the firing squad.
So you want to talk about trajectories, Brent? Find a smokes player specifically. You just find incredible players that understand the game and how it's supposed to be played.
That's a battle I'm going to be taking a close look at as well. Mazzino versus Sugar Zero.
Yeah.
On the controllers. I think watching Mazzino in the off-season was a treat, honestly, the way that guy was able to just react and anchor effectively.
And Mazzino's been amazing in the flex role in previous tournaments too for crew. But we've also seen Sugar Zero turn up at a lot of the events and put in some heavy work. I think Sugar Zero is going to be asked to do a lot here because Laz is now on less of an impactful role, or at least that's what we would expect from Killjoy instead of Chamber.
Yeah. Chamber hitting this team particularly hard, it feels like, in the roles, but...
And that just means that Depp and Sugar Zero have to step up. There's no two ways around it.
It's a heavy fight now. Well, go down without any issues, just wading into the smoke. Enough that they open themselves up to these angles, but currently, Leviatan just looking to farm up these eco kills, and that's Zeta hoping that they could get an easy death there to the spike, making sure that they deny any and all ult points, but no, Leviatan not letting anything get away from them.
You can see how they're playing Depp in mid here. Depp should be pressured fairly heavily by the Sova utility, but if you're good enough on Jet, you can still find the openings.
He's pretty far back right now, using that Phantom. A huge amount of util, and he has to dash back, actually, just taking that early fight. And all that space afforded to Leviatan. Look at them already just making sure that they work their way forwards. There was a knife to clear through market a little bit prior. Now just backing away. That early pressure they've applied, making sure that they strike fear into Zeta division with their defensive setup. They don't know where they could be currently.
Zeta need to go and retake mid. Okay, the recon dart in B main gives Crow a little bit of safety, but they need to go and actually find out whether these players are still in mid. They don't have any good info.
Yeah, Lamba will slow down the pincer play, trying to come through into two different avenues. Noswap sets up that dart over the top as well. Players just trying to anchorize it to the back. Behind Dice, close. That turret causing all sorts of problems. And reinforcements have arrived. Dead. Right from the back, all the way on heaven, swings wide, collecting 2 kills. All down to Shy. Puts his way forwards, but yeah, has to break the glass and immediately alerts Crow of where exactly that guy was playing.
It looked like an against the fight in time, but those anchors held on for long enough that Depp could swing out into heaven and help Laz reinforce his position before he got overwhelmed. Solid anchoring from Laz, from Sugar Zero, and then Depp swooping back in, playing that rotate role. Yeah. That's what you need to see.
Bit of a weird dart from Nozra in that round as well. It only landed and cleared the front section of the site, so none of the players that are anchoring behind Jenny or the Dice were caught out by it, but a new round now. And so Zeta do get that 1 on the board.
Leviatan starting to get up to some of the ultimates, but nothing that you can really craft a game plan around just yet. Crow hasn't been spotted in this position. They obviously know that there's a chance of a Sova with an Odin being right here, but it's not like Leviatan have been playing for B main control just yet.
No, in fact, that's a play, I think, off the turret contact main.
It looks like it, yeah.
Yeah, so as soon as that turret ended up firing at somebody, they will be spammed down a common angle.
That is big damage onto Sugar Zero over towards Catwalk too, and look at how fast Leviatan are moving around the map. They prod in one direction, pivot down another. They're very quick into mid, and it's only this alarm bot.
How they were holding for each other. Now they're going to look to try and explode into the side. There was a dart to push them away through main, and still, look at this. In mid, there was a fight taking place, but Crow still biding his time, waiting it out.
They're going to cancel.
They cancel the hit. He doesn't win the fight.
Oh, look at this, though. What a beautiful call from King. He calls the cancel on the B hit, and they go straight through to A. What a mistake by 10 to push Solo out of Cat like that and give away a free entry.
Turret spotting the positioning here. Sugar Zero, a risky peek by him, just trying to pre-fire that corner, but again, angle being watched for. Takalea just crouched into the corner. Depth just trying to at least turn the fight any which way he possibly can, but Zeta Division forced to save the 2 rifles that they've managed to get. Backing away from this one, and the way Leviatan are working this map is just sublime right now. Poking, prodding, making sure that they open up the map, force rotations, but very fast to react to any sort of information that goes their way.
Absolutely. And if you want to talk about another head-to-head to take a look at, King and then Crow on the other side. The 2 IGLs for the team, and King has been, I would say, probably the hardest hitting. You heard the Desk talk about it, but the hardest hitting IGL that we've seen come up to these events. But he's also pairing it with some gorgeous mid-round calling, as you're seeing here on Ascent. I was really impressed with what he was able to put together at Champs. And again, if you want to talk about scrim, calling him the best player on Leviatan in scrims, we'll have to see whether that translates, of course.
So many layers to the way Leviatan were ready to play that one. We saw right at the beginning, you know, Shy catching that. Zeta Division managing to scramble together a slight buy. Depth's going to be onto that Sheriff purchase, and the util being used just to try and fight over A main pretty heavily now.
And Sugar Zero's using one of his smokes as a one-way here, but Leviatan are investing a lot to get past it instantly. And that means Sugar Zero only has 1 smoke in the round. It's something Leviatan can potentially abuse just by going for A hits. They know that they've seen the alarm bot around there before, but that shock dart does not connect from Nozwa.
No, it misses. Does not break that alarm bot.
But it's not like they were really committing to mid. A group up very quickly. Zeta Division choosing to re-clear A main. I like that call, but it keeps those players a long way away from the B hit.
And now just contacting through. There wasn't a turret to watch through main, but now there's a smoke. Comes through with a dart, even a fragment nade as well, just in CT, and there's a lot of pressure now on the 2 Zeta Division players. Crow just anchoring to the side, but he's being lit up all over the place, and of course, the walls just absolutely paper thin, able to spam him through at the back of the side. It's all down to Laz, but he's going to be dealt with. A quick play by Depp, but he's only with the Sheriff. One quick shot rattled off, does manage to remove King away from the fight, but on to 10 in that 1v4, and he's just not able to withstand it. That kind of pressure that's being applied.
I gotta say, Brent, that he wanted it to. Right from the Nano Swarm in CT, Crow getting lit up, Paranoia caught onto Laz at the back, everything working exactly as they want. I think Zeta Division, they're gonna take a timeout here. And if I'm XQQ, I think I'm calling...
What sort of play does he want to go for? Knives are going to be popped off. 10, getting a lot of information that there are players there, but again, it's that prior presence that Leviatan are putting in, and there's a Paranoia. Glides his way across. Deb's already ready. A dash and an updraft play all the way in, but the Blade Storm, he just can't quite land the knives onto his target. Takalea gets away with that one. A lot of damage being pumped into the Zeta players.
And the idea is nice for fighting over A main. It was the first time they did it, but where's the nade from 10? Why not clear out the right side? You know, it's so close to being a great set play from Zeta, but they just missed some pieces out of it and only go 1 for 1. That might not be enough on the eco.
Cut noise. 10 lurking into wine, but it seems like Leviatan might just be aware of it. Look, they're using utility to clear through a wider smoke. There's no way he gets out of here alive. 55 health, and the spam just doesn't quite catch him.
45 seconds left, and this is where King might be calling a pivot. Obviously, the player's leaving, but in this round, it's different. They don't actually control anywhere else on the map. They just have to hope that Zeta were 5-stacking A, and as it turns out, they were.
So no real player's going to be matching them, but they do hold the rifles. Watching that crossfire. 10 rewarded with just the 1 kill, but that's about it. Now still looking to see if they can catch these timings.
Can Sugar Zero be the playmaker we need him to be?
He really needs to be. Now trying to push through the smoke, but it's being watched for. Fast reactions. Yes, time's running low into this round. Just hard clearing the back of the site, but 4 seconds more than they really need there to try and get that spike down.
And it's a decent attempt from Zeta Division, despite the fact that they didn't have the weaponry in this round. I think the timeout from XQQ is probably focusing on the right stuff. They are trying to fight Leviatan. but Crow's not quite able to pull off a 1v3.
No, I mean, that setup was just...
Too difficult.
There was no gaps in that.
3 players towards mid, and it looks like Depp wants to take a fight here.
Just trying to make sure that he can take some risks. There's a main pressure. You can feel 10 just wanting to try and take this fight as well. Tip-tap goes through. That was a paranoia gliding through, but, well, King was just way out of the way of it. Swinging back to cover his teammate, and he rips off the head of 10.
Definitely still missing some utility there. I like the idea, it makes sense for their macro plan, but the execution, Leviatan are outplaying them. And meanwhile, I thought Depp would be trying to get aggressive, but they're just holding a trap. They're hoping desperately that Leviatan walk into it and cross that line in mid.
Leviatan have been exploring mid quite a bit.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea, is it?
Yeah, the early rounds had a ton of conditioning where they were just trying to get rid of the alarm bot, fake that kind of presence towards market, but look at how aware Leviatan are. I mean, they're using the drone now to re-clear, even the jump peek, just in case there was potentially an operator in the hands of one of the players.
That's not getting spot.
But will it pay off? That's the question. No one from Leviatan playing towards mid at all. All 5 players towards A main, and now to dash through into the smoke. That is beautiful by Depp. Manages to punish that one. That needs to be taken care of. Very, very punishable. Mazzino, he was isolated for about a moment, but he does manage to wade his way through all of this. And that is a good tag. Forces him off a bit. No, just spamming into heaven. Still the plan. Needs to go down without too much trouble. Now there's going to be the Hunter's Fury. That's to take care of that lockdown. Nosra was holding on to this one, but still. Plant down. Zeta not wasting any time with this one, but the lockdown not dealt with. Detained onto the high ground. Crow will be removed, and it's all down to Laz in that 1v2. Difficult task ahead. Not many bullets left in the clip. Has to reload. Bit of a jump peek. Seems to know where one of the players is. Shy just waiting it out. Doesn't take too much damage from that. And the close-up position by Nosra at the off angle. Crosshair placement just not there for Laz to take him out.
The flank from Laz, he gets behind them so quickly to put a lockdown, and it does apply a lot of pressure. I mean, take a look at that as well. Knowing that Depp was going to push him and just get a bit too aggressive on it, Mazzino, the player lit up, still finding the kill. Painful for Crow as well, caught in that lockdown as both teams used to catch a break.
No.
Outplayed at every twist and turn.
The kind of pace that is being played in this map. The level of diligence that Leviatan as well are making sure that they clear out A main, making sure to fight over it, breaking the utility that Zeta might have towards mid or whatever, but this is a risky play now. Opting into this one on the half buy, and guess what? More than aware, Leviatan. I mean, just an absolute ADS moment. Still 10, holding down the tree area, making sure that he can have that crossfire into the site. There was a dash play. It was trying to be cooked up there by Takalia, but there's a minute left in this round, still plenty of time, and Leviatan are no strangers to just making sure that they cut noise.
Yeah.
Wait it out.
Look at the discipline to cancel
Super
this.
patient.
To cancel this as soon as Taco found some space. The idea of the call to push into A is really good because you know that there's 2 players on B fighting aggressive. You don't expect there to be that many players on A. So I like the call initially, but the idea to cancel is also such a great read, but I love this defensive stack. They're reading the re-hits now. Leviatan have gone for it a couple of times. Can Zeta hold on?
It's going to be the question. There's no command to rip through there, but nothing to help them clear. Right as the smoke, just walking through.
No way!
You've got to be joking.
No way!
How does Mazzino even get into that position?
The sheer
Look at
cojones
this.
of it.
Just look at this. TP up top. They're too preoccupied with the players that are pushing through the smoke, and they're just none the wiser. I mean, why would you ever expect Mazzino to stick his ultimate there?
I mean, also, even if he doesn't stick,
yeah, I mean, that's
he's
just
still like 5-head gigabrain
I
stuff.
didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
But then he just sticks it because he realizes they're not paying attention to him anyway.
Yeah. In a moment, decision being making, and Zeta, you need more than risks. You need a miracle at this point. Got to get around on the board somehow. Still, this mid-aggression, slightly being punished. Takalia playing close to the wall, needs somebody to bail him out, needs a team to help him out, and that is Shy from Tiles. As far as teammates go, layering down that covering fire, even removing a player from the fight. Laz is very pushed up into mid, even getting a decent amount of spam damage once more onto Nosra, but has to back away.
You can just feel it, watching from Laz's point of view, how much he wants to get active in these rounds. He knows his team needs him, but this Killjoy shackle around his ankle is stopping him from getting involved.
Can't risk it with his util getting deactivated. And again, Leviatan, similar play to what we've seen in many of these rounds now, just cutting the noise, cutting their time, and now starting hitting through. It's a nice paranoia to punish. Sugar Zero finally getting a lot more active in this one, and the timing is just immaculate. Depp pushing right through the smoke. Spike going to be dropped down at his feet, and it's all down to Nozwa with 23 health remaining. Not a lot of time, only 12 seconds of dash from Depp to survive, and he does nail the shot.
Very solid round from Depp. At this point, Takulia smokes, and he either dashes into it or Mazzino teleports into it. And they're being able to understand now where on the map they can play in order to get around these timings and punish the players that are going in. But Bren, that might just be too late. 7 rounds on the attack side of Ascent is nasty good. Don't think Leviatan are done quite yet.
Trying to get a bit of a read on this play though. It's a brawl that's taking place towards B main. Depp wanted to take the fight there. He was hoping, I suppose, that Crow could just spam down with that Odin fire, and the ult has to get cancelled by Sugar Zero. They're wondering, okay, did he actually TP into our spawn? But it gets pinged out, and they know that it's been cancelled, or at least broken.
Yeah, the Odin spam and your Jet pushing out B main is a pretty classic combo, actually, but the Odin spam just off a little, and Leviatan don't take a single point of damage, and they're able to isolate that kill and destroy Depp. And how many times have we seen this? A minute on the clock, 5v4, 5v3 situations, and Leviatan is still so cautious, so disciplined on their attack side. This is going to be a tough team to punish.
Just waiting it out, making their opponents sweat a little.
But I do think that Zeta are the kind of team that are unlikely to get scattered and overreact. They've still got 2 players here and a chance to anchor.
Oh my goodness, that paranoia is excellent. It catches onto both the players. It somehow, 10 still claims a kill. Holding down onto lane. It's going to be down to these 2 players to see if they can anchor because time is running low. Leviatan have to commit to this one with 28 seconds left. What is the call that's going to be made? Another paranoia swings through. They just can't quite find it. That's a spam angle where 10 was holding, but they do not account for Crow. Tries to swing around the Odin fire, but the swing timings, again, of Leviatan, just too damn clean.
Mazzino's waiting for the CT player to react off it, and so he's holding this smoke, which is a great idea. And on the other side of things, you've got Shy swinging with Taco in lane. Perfect. But Shy, really good stuff.
Never overextending. For a team like Zeta Division, this poor team just feels like the most recent global events they've been going to. They are always getting tested in these opening round games. Champs, the desk was talking about it. They unfortunately had to run into Loud, the eventual winners of the entirety of the tournament. Twice, man, twice in their group.
And so it really does feel impossible to tell how good this team is. You can obviously watch them and notice that there's holes in their game, but if they were in a different side of the bracket, you know, would they have a better chance? I think it's very possible.
Player getting a red here, Zeta Division. Did push down into mid. Mazzino, paranoia, not going to be even taking the fight actually, just TP's to safety because he does have the spike in his hands. They did read that they had been able to get this site pretty much for free now.
Yeah, and they're just holding all of the space. Only one player needs to get into sight. Everybody else making sure that they can't be pressured. Oof. A good shot from Crow.
Yeah, I mean, just being able to find that one, but the double swing just not ready for that. Oh. Swinging all the way through, and
oh my word.
Yeah, Takulia making the Vandal look like a phantom.
And Bren, we haven't even... And so far, so good.
One more round waiting for us in this first half.
Depp finally opping. I think this is the first round he's got an op.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Golden Boy was talking about him picking up the operator now instead of Laz, but they haven't had a chance.
No, have not had a chance at all, and I was thinking about it being a potential difference maker in these games, maybe try and push him into those deeper positions, but again, just look at that. I mean, how many times are we going to use the word discipline, but it just feels so apt when you're talking about Leviatan. Shy's position there, just ready to swing and punish any sort of player that was pushing with the drone.
And it feels desperate from Zeta Division.
Yeah.
They're trying to create opportunities at the minute 10 mark, which is always where Leviatan are waiting for something to happen. And this paranoia is off the turret contact. Could maybe something happen here? I imagine Leviatan are going to leave someone anti-flash, though.
I mean, it would have to be a hero play, wouldn't it? Yeah, they are playing enough players just slightly out of position. Paranoia rips through, beaming him down! Sugar Zero. He does collect the 2, but there's already players ready and waiting just to punish that position. And now into the site. The lockdown being used, the Hunter's Fury on top of it in response to that. I believe that's Crow. Yep, just trying to make sure he deals with that one there. But again, Leviatan not wasting any time still. Finally nailing the shot, taking care of his opposition. And all down to Mazzino. In a 1v2 scenario, Zeta Division desperate to win this round. They need it. We've seen Mazzino in this position before. A very intelligent player. How is he going to try and use his utility? A TP across. And it's just complete uncertainty in the Zeta camp. And now down to that 1v1. Crow knows the positioning. He knows it's in hell, but how do you win it against this guy? Mazzino, just so damn clean.
See, the scrim results translate into match performance. But apart from these very small and disconnected moments of heroics by Zeta, it has just been the ball buff all day long.
Yeah, that guy. Roll as well.
Yeah.
Just getting the better of it.
That is what's so impressive to me, is that Mazzino's picked up smokes incredibly quickly and already looks amazing. He might end up getting challenged early here as the spike is over towards A, and A split looks like it's on the cards for Zeta. How's Mazzino's anchoring? Oh, Shy's got a shorty.
One. Yep, Shy does have a shorty right up close and dashes to the side right in where he wants him. Perfect range for the shorty kill. Still need to deal with him, but Zeta, they do manage to hold their ground. And well enough indeed. A bit of a jump peak there by Nozra. He does survive into this one, but only down now to 52 health. Spike gonna get planted for Zeta Division, and a good start, a good beginning to this one. 10. Getting a little bit aggressive there up onto Heaven. Now backs away. Let's try and play with the rest of his team. Jump
Double
peek
face.
again, a bit of information, but no. Good from Zeta Division again, not giving anything away there.
Yeah, really nice A split actually from Zeta. That is a pistol
Tries
round
to
that
make no changes. You know, the core of this roster has remained relatively intact.
Yeah, completely intact. And I think that that's going to hurt them in the long term. We'll see, obviously, very early days in the 2023 season, but a lot of these other squads, even in the Pacific region, right, have made sizable upgrades.
Yeah. Many changes happening across the board.
I'm looking at Team Secret, as we saw earlier today. Really big upgrades have come through massively for them. Talon as well. Maybe we didn't think those would be upgrades, but they actually ended up performing very well, Gun and Jibboy.
Yeah.
So for Zeta, you really, these players have to prove that they deserve that spot for 2023, right? And that the Reykjavik run was not a flash in the pan, not a one-trick wonder. And that's going to be their goal for this year.
Has to be their goal, doesn't it?
It doesn't help, though, when you keep running into these god squads early in tournaments.
No, and that's, you know, it's the big question that we keep wondering every time we watch Zeta Division playing tournaments like this is, you know, where is the peak of this team? Where does it actually lie? Because forever being chased, honestly, by that third place finish at Reykjavik that they managed to get. Okay, well.
There's so many players on Leviatan with shorties in this round. There's no need.
Ooh. Brutal.
I thought it would be Sugar Zero and Laz pulling out the shorties in this game. And owners teams in general are normally incredibly good at bonus rounds. So now the shoe's on the other foot. Can Zeta pull off something incredible of their own? Another A split. It looks very similar to the pistol round.
A slight angle being held by King. Almost pixel angle. Still, Fragment Nade's going to be dropped down at the feet, and he does evacuate. He gets out of there, skipping a hop. Bounds his way to the back of Jenny, just needs to anchor down his position, but still, the cloudburst in his face. Depp doesn't want to be pushing too deep. Now there's a flash at play. Oh my word. One after the other. Zeta Division just cannot withstand it.
Wow. Leviatan picking up. Is Takolia picking up 2 in A main as well? Softened up, of course. But still, the combination of players ready and waiting for that sight hit. Read to perfection by Leviatan.
Yeah. Attacking on Ascent can be so damn hard.
Oh, it feels horrible. Leviatan have made it look so easy, so much easier than it should have been. But this map is normally defender-sided. Is Shy going to try and swing off an alarm bot here? This would be crazy aggressive. I doubt it.
He's playing a slight anti-flash position maybe, but no swings to the side.
Yeah, I think he's just playing anti-flash.
Yeah, just in case they bounce the KO nade. Oh, KO flash, I suppose.
And so many protocols on Ascent defense are about buying time for rotators to come through. That's why you saw in the previous round, King put a heavy emphasis on using his nade. It allows Takulia to get into that A heaven position and stack the A site for the defenders. And that's going to be Shy's job too. If there is somebody gallivanting down mid, he's designed to delay them and wait so that they can still have 2 players behind.
The timing on that was almost perfect.
The spike, though, is still over by A.
Wondering what the goal is. Dart lighting up 10. Has to get his way out of main.
But this B pressure is good, Brent. It's kept 3 players over at the B area, although Taco is now drifting back into a more central position.
Even still, 30 seconds remaining. And this A main control has been held on to. The question is King going to be able to get that knife online? But no, pressure starting to be applied now. There's a Paranoia ripped across the site, knife into the back, and the dart as well. All that utility that's just being comboed up. Depp moving forwards now inside of his own cloud burst up top, holding that one angle onto heaven, yet still King at the back of Jenny. This guy is just an absolute menace. And sure, Laz claims a kill into mid, but too little too late.
I'm watching from Laz's POV as this game slips away is the saddest thing. In a lurk position, unable to have any impact in the round. And now he's just sat at the bottom of the scoreboard, slowly watching his team lose. King is unreal.
This guy is ridiculous.
More people need to be talking about how good he is. At Champions, I was gassing him up so high in him coming into this event because is Sadak probably?
Yeah, that's what I would, yeah.
And I think King frags harder than Sadak too. And the calling on both of these guys is extremely good.
Movement, the aim, the decision making is a complete package.
And the flexibility.
Yeah, just plays so many different roles.
Well, last chance for Zeta Division on this first map. It is, of course, Leviatan's pick, so it's not disaster zone just yet for Zeta. Even if they lose here 13-4, they'll have their chances to respond, but oh, it hasn't looked good.
No.
They'd like a couple more here at the end just to get their heads back in the game a little.
The drone is used in response there with the alarm bot being broken. But in terms of that mid-round information, look at that. Even a deep smoke being planted by Zeta Division into mid, just trying to hide what they're doing, but they're going to be walking right into this play, surely. Takulia moves forwards, saving the dash for a rainy day, and guess what? That's right now.
And meanwhile, Mazzino is in wine. Yep. He looks like the playmaker.
There's just too many angles, too many layers to this one. How will Zeta deal with it? Trying to set the way up now. You can see the darts being placed into it. Players just sitting in main, no one none the wiser. And again, once more, King just back and forth around Generator, and that will seal the deal.